Hey guys, it's Brian Walker here, your favorite business broker and coach and Santa Claus. So, hey, I just want to talk about something real fast that is real important if you're going to start flipping and investing in single family residences, lovingly known as SFRs. So here's the thing. If you're going to invest in an SFR, something to keep in mind is you need to do a lot of planning before you do it, because you can make a big mistake, and a big mistake is going to cost a lot of money, okay? Here in Los Angeles and Southern California anyways, houses average well over $700,000, well over $1 million in my neighborhood and most of the neighborhoods. Places in the city are over $1 million. It's very expensive and you can't afford to make a lot of mistakes. So how do you start? Like, what do you do? If you've never flipped a house before, let's talk about some real basic stuff. How do you start? Let's start first with, you need to list out what resources you have. Resources can be everything from people, lawyers, accountants, construction crews, partners, banks, lines of credit, loans, 401ks, anything that is a resource that will help you get what you need in the property, okay? Also, a resource can be what tools you have to find those properties, okay? So do an inventory, be honest with yourself, because I promise you the world will be honest with you when it comes to you getting hammered, okay? So let's be honest with ourselves. Make sure we know, what do we really have to work with? Make sure our partners, that could be a business partner, that could be a friend, that could be someone that's a real estate agent maybe that you're partnered with. It could be your spouse. It could be your kids, your children, your family members, whoever. Make sure that you are all honest with one another with what you have, what resources you can bring to the table. And not to say that anybody's not going to be completely honest with you, but sometimes people will fudge, so you might want to just make sure they're giving you the right information and double check, okay? So once you've got all your resources gathered up, the next thing to do is, how are we going to find these properties? Let's go find them. So look at the resources you have, right? What resources do you have to go get the properties? Is it real estate? Is it the MLS? Is it a bank? Is it an REO list? I don't know. You tell me. You got to figure that out, right? You have to be, again, honest with yourself. Are you going to drive around town and look at properties? Look for ones that look abandoned, that have weeds, the yard hasn't been cut, the shrubs are all over the place, there's mail stacked up. Are you going to use other methods? There's a ton of ways to do this. Some are more efficient and effective than others. Once you find a property, then the next thing you got to do is make an offer. How do we find the person who owns it? Maybe we don't even know who that is, but we need to buy it. Somehow we have to acquire this property, buy it, sign it over, something. And then once you have it, now you got to figure out what you're going to do to the inside of it. Do you want a decorator, an interior designer? Are you going to gut it? Is it keepable? Maybe you got to tear the whole thing down. I don't know. Make sure it's a good property. Walk the property before you buy it. Make sure you see what's wrong with it. And if you don't know what's wrong, get a professional to go with you. Might cost you a couple $100 to get a home inspector to come through and help you with that. Now that you got that, you got the property, you're going to do the work. I hope you have your budget, and now you're going to figure out, how are we going to make this thing look so it's pretty? So we're going to do all that. Then we're going to do all the work. We're going to do the work, and we have to figure out, do we have enough time to sell this property once we're done doing the work? And then what's that going to cost, right? So you have to figure in, I got to pay the real estate agents on both sides out of my profit, right? That's going to cost me 5 or 6% of the property value, or what I sell it for, okay? You got to have that in. And then you got carrying costs. Then you have advertising and marketing costs. You have to add all that stuff in. And then once you get through all that, now you've got some people, your open house, people are coming in, they're checking out your property, they love it, they hate it. Hopefully you've done the best work you can. Use your time, use your money wisely, use the designs for the area that makes sense, right? If you say you have a house in Alaska, an outdoor pool may not be your best option. But if you're in Southern California, that may be a great option, okay? So know the area, do the right thing for the area. Know what people want and what they want to buy. Market to those people. Now, let's assume you got the house sold, somebody put it in contract, you got an offer, you accept that offer. Let's pretend the bank did everything they're supposed to do right, and now you're going to close, And now that you're ready to close, the bank says, oh, wait, this person isn't ready to go, so we have to keep going and find another person. And so now you've got a couple months of closing costs to be worried about. And it's just like one big headache. But you're good. You planned it out. You have enough money left over. You're still going to make money on this, right? That's what you want to do. You want to make sure you plan out for contingencies because they're going to happen. And then you get to the very end. You sign the contract. They get their loan approved. You go to escrow. Escrow closes. Yeah, right? Escrow closes. And now you look at the statement. It's called a HUD-1. You get your statement and you look at it and you go, oh my God, we just made $100,000. That's pretty cool. That's the process. There's a lot of steps in there. There's a lot of phone calls, a lot of work. Maybe you can find a property that doesn't need a ton of work. Maybe you find a property that you got to build from the ground up. Whatever you want to bite off, make sure you have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, get help. Because I'm telling you, the help is cheaper than losing on the deal. If you lose on a deal like that, you can easily be underwater for $100,000 or more. Really simple. So do the right thing, make a plan, stick to that plan, and do it again. So reach out anytime, like and subscribe, and if you need help, give us a call. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Happy hunting.